over 10 years ago, I was part of a group that started a community garden in this part of San Clemente. And the community garden is in a neighborhood that has challenges. It's at the time it had issues with some gangs and that kind of thing. And so the city and others thought that this kind of positive focal point in the neighborhood would be a good thing. And it definitely turned out to be a good thing. It's kind of, everybody knows about it. Kids come visit the garden. People walk through the garden to go to the bus stop or to local shops and so forth, because Henderson House, who owns the property, kept a throughway open for the whole neighborhood. And so we started a community garden, all volunteer work, all donated materials. Yeah. There was a group of us that strategized what we should do there. But really myself and one other person had the leadership role and organized it, and I designed it, and I've organized many volunteer days. It was just a dirt slope before with squirrels and rabbits and stuff. And so when you see it today, you know, it's quite a bit different. And it always, whether it's a little free library or a community garden, it usually takes one or two people to be committed enough to, you know, put a lot of time into these things. I thought it would be fun to put a little free library there, because at the time these things, you know, were becoming known as good neighborhood building things to have. And so they're great everywhere. What I like about this one and others that I've seen in this kind of thing is, in this neighborhood and at this facility, a little free library is actually really important and useful, you know, because the neighborhood is a bit blighted and there aren't a lot of resources in the neighborhood. So, you know, when books, or sometimes I put stuffed animals in there. I just put, this time when I was there on Tuesday, I put some big giant pink earmuffs in there to be discovered. So anybody can go in and look through and see what books are there. Kids and young adults, I think, do it mostly. They can take out. The idea is, you know, you should eventually put some books back, either those same books or other books that you don't want to read anymore, don't want to keep. And so that, you know, the neighborhood keeps it going, right? And that's actually, I rarely put books in anymore, even though I have boxes in the garage that have been donated, because the neighborhood is putting back books. They're taking things and the stuffed animals, and they're putting back, you know, different books. So it's been super rewarding. It was fun to build. I built it with my daughter. And so it was fun to build. It's a unique one. It's interesting. It's not an off-the-shelf one. But early on also, we had programs that made it even more useful. You know, aside from the passive kind of use, people, when they walk through, check out and see what's in there, we had some reading days with kids. I think I sent you pictures of some of those, where one of the residents volunteered to do readings on Saturday mornings. So with local neighborhood kids. So they would come in, and I had a rug, you know, that I would put out, and some chairs and things, and the kids would sit there, and somebody would read kids' books to them. And we haven't done that in a while. I would like to get that going again. I still go there 2 or 3 times a week to water the garden, or, you know, to pick up and that kind of thing. And so while I'm there, it's super gratifying to see little kids come and run up to the library and open it up and check out, you know, what might interest them.
Would it be good to have, like, maybe volunteers? Is that something that would be useful to you?
Yeah, a couple things would be useful, I think. I'm running low on kids' books, so I'm always open to kids' books that are donated. And I haven't had a donation in a while. So those are the things that go quickest and that I could use. If you know, there are book drives, I've had a church group do a book drive a couple years ago, and people who know about it drop off boxes of books, but I haven't had any in a while, so that would be good. And then, yeah, if there's a way that somebody was interested in reading to kids, I'd like for somebody, even if it's an outside person, to do some sort of reading thing with kids in the neighborhood.
What is like your very favorite thing of your community?
So this is an obvious answer because I'm a little biased. I don't live in the community. I live nearby in Laguna Niguel, so I come visit this 2 or 3 times a week. But I will say I really love the garden, of course. It's got some magic at various times of the year. Now it's a little hit by the heat and all. But I love the neighborhood. The neighborhood is very social. It's there are always people out barbecuing on the street maybe, or out talking about fixing a car. There are always kids riding bikes or pulling wagons and running around. There's music that comes out from people's homes. They have a food thing going on. There's kind of one resident kind of cooks for the neighborhood every other week, I think. There are food trucks that go in there. It's just a very social, alive neighborhood, despite having a few problems here and there. And I really like it. People are friendly. They walk through and say hi and so forth, if I'm there in the garden. So I like the neighborhood quite a lot.
Awesome. Sounds like very lively, right?
It is. You'll see.
Well, here we are at the little library at El Jardín de los Mares. This is so exciting because this is not only the little free library, but we also have a community garden that we will show you.
A set of steps that's right on Camino de los Mares that goes up into the community garden. So if you're walking, it's easy to find.